Let's look at this example. We have the demand for quantum company action toy series from January to December. So we have the demand information of this company in 1 year. Each worker can produce on average 100 cases of action toys each month. The overtime is limited to 300 cases and the subcontracting is unlimited. No action toys are currently in inventory, so it means that there is no inventory at the beginning. The wage rate is $10 per case for regular production, $15 for overtime production, and $25 for subcontracting. So our priority will be regular production first. And if we do the regular production, we still do not have enough products to offer to provide the customers, we will do overtime. And if we do regular production and overtime still not enough, we will do subcontracting. So the priority will be regular production first, then overtime, then subcontracting. No stockouts are allowed. So it means that what you have has to be enough to cover the demand. You always need to have enough products to provide to your customers. The inventory cost or holding cost is $1 per case per month. Increasing the workforce cost is $1,000 per worker. This one is hiring cost. And decreasing the workforce cost $500 per worker. So this one is firing cost is $500. So now we will solve the problem with linear programming using Excel solver. We make the planning productions. It means that we try to determine how many products we will produce each month. We know that the production constraint is this value for each month. And the workforce constraint is this value. What does it mean? It means the regular production has to be less than or equal to this production constraint. And the total workforce in the company has to less than or equal to those workforce constraints. So what we have to do? First, we have to determine our decision variable. What is decision variable? What we want to determine here. So we want to determine the production quantity each month. So our decision variable here is the production quantity each month, right? Second, what is our objective? What do you want to achieve? So we want to minimize total cost. And in our case, we will consider 6 costs. Please remember this. 6 costs. Those are regular production cost, overtime cost, subcontracting cost, inventory cost, hiring cost, and firing cost. So in the reality, we will consider different costs as well, but in our case, we will consider 6 costs: regular production cost, overtime cost, subcontracting cost, inventory cost, hiring cost, and firing cost. Okay. Third one, you have to consider, you have to determine what are your constraints or your limitation. So here, first, let's look at here. Overtime is limited to 300 cases. So it means the total overtime has to be less than or equal to 300 hours, right? How about subcontracting? Subcontracting is unlimited, so we don't have any limitation for the subcontracting. What else? No stop outs are allowed. So it means what we have has to be larger or equal than the demand, right? How can we calculate what we have? What we have will equal to the inventory last month plus the regular production this month plus overtime this month and plus the subcontracting this month. So it's how you calculate what we have, and this value has to be larger than the demand of this month. Okay, what else? We have the production constraint, right? Production constraint. It means that the regular production has to be a period T has to be less than or equal to the production constraint of period T. Okay. Next one is the workforce constraint. It means that the worker needed, the number worker needed in period T has to be less than or equal to the workforce constraint of period T. So totally we have 4 constraints. The last one is the regular production has to be integer. Okay, integer. So totally I will have 5 constraints. Remember that the first thing we have to do is determine the decision variable. The second one is determine objective. The third one is determine the constraint. Okay, then after you determine those 3 things, the fourth step, we will input the formula into Excel. First, we have to input the information we have. The beginning workforce is 10 people. One worker can produce 100 units. The beginning inventory is 0. The wage rate for regular production is $10. Overtime is $15. Subcontracting is $25. Hiring cost is $10,000 per person, and firing cost is $500. Inventory is $1. And we have the demand from January to December is given. And now we have to input the formula for overtime, subcontracting, inventory, workers needed, number of worker hired, and number of workers we need to fire. So first, how to input the formula for overtime. So if the regular in this month plus the inventory last month cannot cover the demand less than the demand in this month, we have to overtime, and the overtime quantity will equal to the demand in this month minus the inventory last month and minus the regular production in this month. If not, the overtime quantity will equal to 0. So that is for overtime. So I will input it here. If the inventory last period plus the regular this period less than the demand in this period, we will overtime the quantity that demand minus regular and minus the inventory. If not, it's equal to 0. Okay. You don't need to care about this number yet, because when the solver gives us the number, the value for regular production, the number for this will be changed. Okay. So just input the formula first. So I will just copy and paste for other cell, double check if it's correct. Okay. The next one is subcontracting. So when we subcontracting, when the regular in this month plus the overtime in this month and plus the inventory last month still cannot cover the demand this month, so we will do overtime. We will do subcontracting. And subcontracting for this month will equal to the demand this month minus the regular this month minus the overtime this month and minus the inventory last month. Okay, if not, it's equal to 0. So let's input in this column. It's equal to if overtime this month plus regular this month plus inventory last month less than the demand of this month. We have to do subcontracting with the quantity is equal to demand this month minus regular this month minus overtime this month and minus the inventory this month. If not, it's equal to 0. Okay. So I also copy and paste for other months. We finished overtime and subcontracting. How about inventory? Inventory, if the regular what we produce plus overtime this month plus sub this month plus the inventory last month is larger than the demand this month. We will have inventory, right? We will have inventory of this month. Equal to the demand this month minus inventory last month minus the overtime this month minus the sub this month and minus the regular this month. If not, inventory will equal to 0. Here you also can use the max function. Here I will input it in here. If sub this month plus overtime this month plus regular this month plus the inventory last month larger than the demand this month, we will have the inventory is equal to this plus this plus regular plus inventory last month minus the demand. If not, it's equal to 0. Okay, so I finished for the inventory column. They copy and paste for other months. Then the next column, workers. Workers. Number worker needed. It will equal to the regular production of this month divided by the unit per worker, and in this case is 100 here. Okay, so divide by 100. So I will just input here equal to the regular this divide by the units per worker. I fix this because I will not change this one, it's just 100. And after that I will just copy and paste. Okay. Next one, the number workers we hired will equal to how many? We have to compare what we need and what we have. So it's equal to if the number workers in last month less than the number workers this month. So the number of workers of last month is what we are having, and the number of workers now is what we need. Okay, so this one will equivalent to what we need, what we have less than what we need. And do we need to hire? Yes, we need to hire equal to workers this month minus the number of workers last month. If not, we don't need to hire anyone. Okay, so let me input it here. If last month is less than what we need, we have to hire this minus this. If not, we don't need to hire. Okay, so same, I copy and paste for other month. For the fire, it's just reverse way. Number of workers we fire in this period is equal to if this one is larger. What we have is larger than what we need, so we need to fire someone. Okay. So I will input it here. If the worker I have larger than worker I need, I will fire someone. And it's equal to what I have minus what I need. If not, it's equal to 0. Okay. So I copy and paste. Then after that, I will calculate the total cost by calculate the total quantity. The total quantity. So I will put sum for them. I calculate the total regular, the total overtime, total subcontract, total inventory, total people I hired, and total people I fired. Okay. Then after that, I will calculate the total cost is equal to the regular production cost plus the overtime cost plus the subcontracting cost plus the inventory cost plus hiring cost and plus firing cost. So I have the total cost here. But this one is just a like fake number. We need to know the optimal regular production quantity. So we will have the real number here, the optimal value here. Okay. And after you input everything, input the total cost is equal to the sum of 6 costs I mentioned above. What else? We have the constraint of the total overtime is less than or equal to 300 hours. So I calculate the sum of overtime. So here I will input the sum of all overtime here. Okay, and later I will let it less than or equal to 300. And the last one I have to put is this one. What we have is equal to the production plus the inventory last period, so that I can put it for the constraint no stock out are allowed. So it will input one more. This one is to what we have. And I will put it equal to production, regular production, plus overtime, plus subcontracting, and plus the inventory last period. And I will copy and paste for other months. So I already finished 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. 9 formula. I input 9 formula into Excel. After I finish, I will use solver to solve the problem. And how can I use solver to solve this problem? So here, use data, and you will see the solver here. So input solver. I will reset everything so that you will understand easily. First, look at here. What is our objective? Set objective, the first one. So our objective is minimize the total cost. So where is our total cost? It is the L5, right? So choose L5 cell. We want to maximize, minimize, or set a specific value. We want to minimize, so click minimize. By changing variable cells. So what is this? This is the decision variable. So here is our production quantity each month, the regular production, okay? So it's this one from January to December. You choose this area from C10 to C21. Okay, so I finished the decision variable, the objective. Now we move to the constraint. So totally we will have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 constraints. So I will input 5 constraints here. And the first one, the total overtime less than or equal to 300 hours. So where is the total overtime? Here. Less than or equal to 300. So I add the first constraint. The second constraint is what we have need to be larger or equal to the demand. So what we have is okay. What we have is this one. It has to be larger or equal to the demand here, so that no stock out exists. Add the second one. The third one is production constraint. It means the regular production has to be less than the production constraint. So I will choose this one, less than or equal to the production constraint. Add. The next one is the workforce constraint. The number of worker needed is this one, has to be less than or equal to the workforce constraint. Okay, add. The last one is the regular production has to be integer. So is this one has to be less integer. So you choose this one, integer. Okay. Okay. So you have checked again. You already input correctly the constraint and enough 5 constraint. Okay. So after that you just solve. keep. So the software will give you the optimal regular production with the total cost is $142,500. Okay.